Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Welcome to the opening week of baseball, presented by Burger King. It is a cool, clear day here in the Motor City as the Detroit Tigers prepare to take on the Tampa Bay Rays this afternoon. It's game one in this three-game series. The Tigers trying to continue a perfect start, and they will do so with Rick Porcello on the mound, making his first start of 2012. Porcello last year establishing career highs in innings pitched and strikeouts, and he'll take on a tough Tampa Bay Rays offense this afternoon. Stay with us. Game one of this three-game series. In the meantime, we send you back now to the Call Sam Studios, and here's Mickey York. What a great weekend of baseball it was here at Comerica Park. The Tigers trying to keep it rolling here as the Tampa Bay Rays come to town on a cool afternoon here at the ballpark. Temperature in the low 40s, and so we'll start this one under very cool weather. together. Here is the starting lineup for the Rays today, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Desmond Jennings leads it off. He'll be in center field. Carlos Pena at first base. Evan Longoria is at third. Matt Joyce, the former Tiger, cleaning up at left, followed by Ben Zobrist, Jeff Keppinger, Sean Rodriguez, Jose Molina, and Reed Brignac rounding it out for the Rays. Tigers starter Rick Porcello today, presented by the Soaring Eagle Casino.
And Porcello had a very nice spring down in Lakeland. 3 earned runs in 17 innings pitched. He had that real good sinker ball working, which he'll need today against a Tampa offense that has come in swinging the bats rather effectively. Let's take a look at the defenders behind Porcello in the ball game this afternoon. It's always presented by Beaumont Health System. You've got Young in left, Jackson is in center, Brennan Bosch is in right, Miguel Cabrera, Johnny Peralta, Danny Worth, Prince Fielder round out the infield, and Gerald Laird is getting his first start of the season. Of course, Alex Avila not playing in the ball game today.
Hey, by the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. So we'll see what transpires here today. A couple of really good baseball teams. And really, when you look at the opening of the season for both of these clubs, they have faced some good competition. The Rays sweeping the Yankees, Tigers sweeping the Red Sox, and the first pitch of the ball game is high to Desmond Jennings.
One guy you want to keep off the base paths. Tremendous speed for the youngster Jennings.
Porcello brings it back home and throws a strike, 1-1. It is 42 degrees at game time.
A little chilly today.
A little nippy indeed, but that's all right. We expected some cold weather here this week. 1-1 is tapped slowly foul, third base side. Cloudy overcast as well here at the ballpark. And there you have it. It feels like 39. Both sides wearing the sleeves here this afternoon. Swing and a miss. Jennings goes down and a strikeout for Porcello.
That's when Rick Porcello's at his best. Two-seam fastball, about 91 miles an hour. But look at the late life. You can see that ball when it gets in the hitting zone kind of dart down and in to Jennings, and he swung right over the top of it.
So Porcello off to a nice start today. Carlos Pena will stand in. Spring training numbers on Rick, an ERA of 1.59 in 4 games. That's line and caught on a mini leap by Peralta. They haven't played nicely. 2 outs. Enjoy your day off yesterday?
I really did enjoy my day off. Did a little laundry. Went to the cleaners.
Nice.
Kind of got some of the things done that you need to do before going out on your first road trip.
And we're looking forward to that. Tigers will head out on the road for the first time later this week. Here is Evan Longoria. What a start he's gotten off to. 6 for 10. And Porcello sails one just a tad outside, 1-0.
Let's take one more look at the play that Peralta just made off Carlos Pena. Taking a single away from the talented left-hander. How about you? What'd you do yesterday?
Pretty much the same. A little dry cleaning, relax a little bit, got prepared for this Tampa series.
I needed yesterday off after that game on Sunday.
It was 4 hours, 45 minutes worth.
I'm just talking about the excitement of the game. I mean, I don't think I've ever called a game in season that has been that entertaining. In-season game.
Yep, two big-time comebacks late in the game for the Tigers. Awfully exciting. That's rolled foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Longoria. And I guess if you want to come out of the chute and create some excitement with your fans, that's the way to do it. Alex Avila had the game winner on Sunday. Boy, did he look tired after that game. That one just missed. 3-2.
He had a sinus infection that day. He's better today, but he had a sinus infection.
He made it through it, though. There's a 3-2 pitch. Grounded toward third. Nice play by Cabrera to his feet. And he throws him out. Boy, Cabby looking good down there at third base. 1-2-3 inning for Rick Porcello. A little bit of help from Miguel Cabrera.
Park on a chilly afternoon, and Cabrera up for the challenge, taking a double away from Evan Longoria. Diving to his right, getting up and throwing a strike across the diamond to Prince Fielder. Nice job by Cabrera.
1-2-3 inning for Porcello. Here come the Tigers now as we go to the bottom of the first inning. And Austin Jackson will be leading things off. Tigers starting lineup presented today by Big Boy. You saw Jackson. He'll play center field, followed by Bosch and Cabrera. Fielder is your cleanup man. And he'll be followed by Young, then Rayburn. He's DHing Peralta, Laird, and Worth. He's starting 9 today for Jim Leyland. So Jackson settles into the batter's box. Austin off to a really good start, and he's facing a really good pitcher in lefty Matt Moore. And the first pitch is a little bit high and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Jackson is 8 for 14 as we check out the pitching report presented by Fox Auto Group. Inside and high, 2 balls, no strikes.
Moore did not stay in the minor leagues very long. 97-mile-per-hour fastball. He's got an outstanding curveball and a really good changeup. 3 above-average major league pitches already.
And you've got a lefty here that throws upper 90s. I mean, it's awfully impressive, and it didn't take him long to get to the big leagues.
It's easy gas, too. It's effortless. The ball comes out of his hand nicely.
Born in Walton Beach, Florida. There's a strike call. 3-1 on Jackson.
He stands on the third base side of the rubber, as you will see some left-handers do, and what that does is it aids them in getting the ball inside to right-handed batters.
3-2 now. Jackson.
That buckled Ed Rapuano.
Last thing you want on a day like today, and it's 42 degrees right now, is to get nailed with a foul tip. Well, you're right, it did buckle it.
Looked like it got him right in the left bicep, or did it get him in the shoulder?
I think it might have been the shoulder. But they're giving him a few extra seconds here to kind of regain his senses.
Take a look at the Tampa Bay Rays defensively. In the outfield is Joyce, it's Jennings, it's Zobrist. In the infield is Longoria, Brignac, Rodriguez, Pena, 2008 Gold Glove Award winner, and one of the Molina brothers behind the plate.
Which one?
Jose.
Strike call. Jackson is out of there, so he went from 3-0 did more to striking him out.
Talked about Moore in his fastball. It's real easy. He has a lot of life on that pitch. He knows already how to pitch to both sides of the plate. You can't make a better pitch than that.
As a hitter, what can you do with that pitch?
Nothing but try to foul it off, which Jackson pretty much has done a nice job of this year with 2 strikes, but that's a power fastball by the left-hander.
Here's Bosch now with 1 out, and he drops down a bunt, third base side. Longoria lets it go foul.
That's one of the things that Bosch, along with some of the other guys, worked on in spring training, and that's taking that bunt base hit on occasion when you know you got the third baseman playing deep. And of course, Longoria was not thinking that Brennan Bosch would attempt to bunt for a hit.
Of course, Brennan off to a slow start offensively, 2 for 15. And a couple of hits on Sunday to get it going. The 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Bosch. Brennan had a really good second half of spring camp. He finished with 6 home runs in spring training and 17 RBIs. And he pulls this one on the ground at first. It's scooped up by Pena. Moore will cover for the out. 2 gone. This game today is available in stunning high definition. Fox Sports Detroit HD. It's sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. Here is Miguel Cabrera.
As good as Matt Moore is, and of course, he's really good. He's got a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. We talked about his curveball and his changeup. This is the best lineup that he's ever seen.
He came up last year Started the season at Double-A, pitched against the Yankees last year in his first start and did really well. But this Tigers lineup features the two guys in the middle that are extremely difficult to pitch around, and some really good parts surrounding them. There's Prince Fielder waiting on deck. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You already have to admire the fact that Moore are not afraid to pitch aggressively inside.
Here's the 1-1. Came in there again, but missed it high. 2-1. Looks like the second baseman, Sean Rodriguez, now has shifted to the left side of the infield.
Something you don't see very often in the major leagues is managers employ this type of shift against right-handed batters. Usually it's reserved for left-handed power hitters.
Here's the 2-1. Have you seen another manager shift to the left side of the infield? I'm trying to think.
No, but I've seen Joe Madden do some things since he's been the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays that you don't see many managers do. But he is very good at what he does.
Very unconventional. That's fouled straight back. 3-2 now on Cabrera.
There could be a method to his madness.
Oh, there is.
He may have in his mind that he would just love to have Cabrera look at that big hole that we're looking at here on the right side of the infield and simply try to take a single instead of trotting around the base path.
He did it to Alex Rodriguez in that Yankees series. Gabby fouls that one away. 3-2 the count stays. Prince waiting on deck. Just underway here at the ballpark on a chilly afternoon. The Tigers and the Rays opening up a 3-game set. And he missed with it. Ball 4. First base runner of the game for either side. It's a walk for Cabrera. That'll bring up Prince Fielder. Fielder, like Cabrera, off to a nice start. He's hit 2 home runs and 5 for his first 12. There's a strike. 0-1. Prince thought that might have been a skosh high, but Ed Rapuano gives it to the pitcher Moore. Molina didn't waste any time at all. He went trotting out to the mound at that last pitch.
It's nice to have a leader like Jose Molina leading a very young pitcher in Matt Moore, who really hasn't pitched all that much in the big leagues, just 9 1/3 big league innings last year during the regular season.
Now the 0-1 is popped up left side of the infield. Longoria to the grass, back to the dirt, and the inning is over. No runs, a walk, 1 left. We go to the second. Rick Porcello back at the hill as we go to the top of the second here at Comerica. No score between the Rays and the Tigers. Matt Joyce, Ben Zobrist, Jeff Keppinger against the Tigers right-hander. A strike called on Joyce. Batting in the cleanup slot for Joe Madden here today, off to a 3-for-9 start with a home run. We saw Matt obviously early in his career, came up in the Tigers organization, and I think really from day one, Rod, we always kind of admired that sweet left-handed swing he had.
That he has. He loves the ball down and in, just as most left-handers do. And the one thing that Matt did once he was traded from the Tigers to the Rays, when he went down to the minor leagues, he really learned how to play the outfield effectively, which is what Joe Madden wanted him to do. Hitting has never been an issue for him.
Fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Matt Joyce.
Joyce enjoyed an all-star season a year ago. 277, 19 and 75, but he got off to a sizzling start.
Yeah, in fact, he was leading the league in hitting into the month of June. Pulled on the ground and threw a base hit. Leadoff man on.
Porcello will get a ton of ground balls when he is right. Unfortunately for him, this one found a seam. 2-seam fastball that didn't quite get down as low as he would like for it to get.
Joyce was able to go get it for the Rays' first hit this afternoon.
One thing about this Tampa Bay Rays team, if you're Laird today, if you're Porcello, you have to be aware of the fact that just about every guy on their roster runs. Very aggressive club.
High fly ball, shallow right field. Bosch coming in. And it took 1 pitch to get Zobrist. 1 out. Well, these are the top 2 offensive teams in the American League. The Tigers, after 3 games, obviously a small sampling, lead the league in hitting, and the Rays are second. And it's not a Rays team that is stocked with a whole lot of huge offensive pieces. They have enough, obviously. Of course, they're missing Upton yet, who is making his way back from a back injury. Keppinger was an offseason addition, and he's given them a nice little boost. There goes the runner. Shot in the air to right center, and Jackson comes over to make the catch. They might get a double play on this, and he is out at first base. Joyce was late getting back, and the Tigers turn 2. 8-3 double play, and a perfect throw from Jackson.
What you have to do is take about 6 steps, and then you have to turn and look. He looks too late. And then he takes a few more steps and he goes to second base. And that's the reason why he was thrown out by Jackson, who made an exceptional throw to first base and got some help by French fielder, maybe cheating just a little bit there at the end. But the key to that play was Matt Joyce took too long to look in to see where the baseball was hit to, and that's why he was doubled off.
Prince's foot was in the neighborhood, close enough. Same area code, same zip code. So here's Delman Young to lead things off. It'll be Young, Rayburn, and Peralta facing the young lefty, Matt Moore. Delman so far this year, 3 for his first 13. Shattered his bat, little pop-up, and it's going to fall, base hit. Tigers get the leadoff man on, and a broken bat single by Delman Young. Here's Ryan Rayburn.
Matt Moore already has a no-hitter under his belt. He threw a no-hitter last year pitching in Double-A for the Montgomery Biscuits.
One of my favorite names. There's some of these minor league teams now, they have some outstanding names. The Biscuits. And Rayburn looks at ball one. Ryan 2 out of 12 to start the year.
There's no doubt that Moore on the mound today will be following the leadership of Jose Molina behind the plate. We might not see him shake him off all afternoon long.
I was reading some numbers on Molina. You mentioned him. He has a combined ERA of 3.94 when he catches a game. His own pitchers have an ERA of less than 4. So it speaks to the type of veteran catcher this guy is. That is popped up. Foul ground. Pena. One gone.
Already a pattern starting to develop this afternoon between Moore and Molina. Molina has called for a lot of fastballs inside to the right-handed hitters on a very chilly day, and you have a pitcher on the mound with a plus fastball above 95. It takes a lot for the hitters to do things right, to get their hands inside, to get barrel on pitches that are in the mid-90s.
Johnny Peralta will stand in. Bouncing ball hit towards short. Reed Brignac flips to second one. Here comes the relay. That's in time. It goes 6-4-3 on the double play. Nothing doing for the Tigers. 2 innings in the books. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or see your local dealer today. And by Spartan Stores. For your neighborhood Spartan store, go to turntospartan.com. By the way, today's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world today in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. And we welcome all of you tuning in this afternoon. And so far, we are scoreless as we go to the top of the third. Sean Rodriguez leads it off for the Tampa Bay Rays. Bottom three in the Tampa lineup. There's a strike called. Quickly 0-2 on Rodriguez. Jose Molina, then Reed Brignac to follow. Porcello threw just 7 pitches in that second inning, and a wave and a miss, and he's off to a good start here in the third. It's his second strikeout today.
Porcello has some really good life on his two-seam fastball already this afternoon. It's at 92 miles an hour, but it's not the velocity, it's the late movement that gets the swings and misses.
Well, we talked about how Porcello had a really good spring. His numbers were outstanding. And so far so good in his first start of 2012. Molina is 0 for 6 so far. Got that wide open stance. And another strike from Porcello. Rick has thrown 23 pitches so far, and 17 of them have been for strikes. In fact, so have the last 7 in a row. And he finally missed. 1-2. That one bounced in. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jose Molina. Jose, Benji, and Yadier, the 3 Molina brothers that have caught in the big leagues. In fact, how about this? Each one of them has 2 World Series titles. 2 of them for each. Pretty amazing. Bouncer back up the middle. Danny Worth gobbles it up. And there are 2 gone. Time for a game break now. Let's head back to the studio. Here's Mickey York. All right, Mick, thank you. Here we're in the third, 2 out, nobody on for Reed Brignac. And ball 1, and I guess the Marlins had to do something with that situation.
Rough start down in Miami for Ozzie.
Brignac is 0 for 4. And he pulls this one through, a base hit. His first hit of 2012 is a 2-out single. And the Rays have their second hit.
We watched Jim pitch out a couple of times in that Boston series. Bobby Valentine very aggressive with that Boston Red Sox team when they did have some runners on base. No doubt we will see a few pitch outs in this series because Madden is even more aggressive than Joe Madden is as a man. Excuse me, Bobby Valentine is as a manager. As a matter of fact, can you really think of any other manager in the American League that manages as aggressively as Madden? Maybe Scioscia.
Scioscia, yeah. And of course, Madden is a disciple of Scioscia, was his bench coach for 6 years, but I think Madden is even more aggressive. Did he go? Yes, he did.
I watched a couple of the Tampa Bay Rays games when the Tigers weren't playing, and he already has squeezed a couple of times, hit and runs, different shifts. He does a lot of different things.
Well, Madden has said ever since he got to Tampa, you know, we have to do things differently here. And they've really built a great pitching staff, and they've had some nice offensive pieces over the years, but this is a team that has to find ways, maybe unconventionally, to win. And of course, Madden, the manager of the year, beating out Jim Leyland last year. Madden has won that award twice already.
You have 2 of your more popular managers in baseball here today in Leyland and Madden. Last year, Sports Illustrated did a poll, and I believe they polled close to 300 players and they asked the players, who would you most like to play for? Madden finished first. Leland finished third behind Terry Francona.
Here's the 1-1. Laird able to block it. 2 balls and 1 strike. I don't think that poll surprised me at all, did it you?
No, it didn't.
All 3 of those guys, of course, Tito Francona not managing this year. But both of these skippers are in for a fun summer, I think. They will both have really good baseball teams. In fact, Leland was saying that he thought his season turned around last year in that series they played in Tampa against the Rays. That slapped to right field, base hit. Brignac will hold at second base, and the Rays have 2 men on. Time now for the scouting report on Rick Porcello, brought to you by the Three Stooges, in theaters this Friday the 13th. How about the most wins by active pitchers who are 24 years or younger? And how about that? Rick Porcello leads that category
by a wide margin.
Really impressive. 38 wins already for Rick Porcello, and at the age of 23. So here is Carlos Pena now. Be careful here with 2 outs and 2 men on. Pena returning to the Tampa Bay Rays this year. Missed it inside, 1-0.
Hit a grand slam in his first at bat of the year against New York Yankees left-hander CC Sabathia, and he hasn't stopped hitting yet.
And even in his first at bat here today, he drilled one to the shortstop Johnny Peralta. There's a strike called, 1-1. Carlos could always hit him. I mean, we saw that when he came up with the Tigers, and he would hit some moonshots, and his average has never really been all that high, but boy, he can drive in some runs.
Well, he hit one of the longest home runs in Comerica Park history.
I'd have to check it, but it might be the longest.
I remember where it landed. I do know that much.
Strike call, 1-2. Pena last year with the Chicago Cubs. It took him 26 games to get to 7 RBIs last year with the Cubs. He got 7 in the first 3 games against the Yankees. So well ahead of last year's pace. And he knocked in 80 last year. He was a very popular Tiger when he was wearing the Old English tee. Oh, look out. He's hit by the pitch. Pena tried to spin out of the way, and all of a sudden Porcello has a jam going now with the bases loaded.
Laird wanted the fastball in, and Porcello just missed his target, obviously.
So Rick was on easy street, retiring the first 2 batters in this inning, and then a couple of singles and a hit batter. And this will be his 19th pitch of this inning. And oh, by the way, he's going to have to face Longoria with the bases loaded. Ball 1. Brignac, the runner at third base. Desmond Jennings is at second base, and Pena down at first. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike on Evan Longoria. Boy, what a second half he had. It was a slow start for him last year. Missed most of the month of April with an injury. Outside, 2-1. This is a guy they wrapped up long-term contract-wise as soon as he got to the big leagues. So based on his production, the Rays are getting really good value out of Evan Longoria.
A lot of talent, a dead pull hitter. You want to stay away from him. He will go the opposite way, but he does not go in the right field area with the kind of authority that he does when he's pulling the baseball.
Well, Porcello has a problem now. It's 3-1 with the bases loaded. And he rolls it foul.
You can see where Evan Longoria ranks among third basemen since 2008. First and second in a lot of offensive categories.
Longoria, interestingly enough, was undrafted out of high school. He went on to play junior college for a year and then on to Long Beach State. And he walked him with the bases loaded. Longoria will pick up an RBI, and the Rays have a 1-0 lead. All of this after the first two men were retired. And the pitching coach, Jeff Jones, slowly walking out to the mound.
Base on ball is really nothing new for the Tampa Bay Rays. They led all of baseball last year with 672 free passes. So they will take a walk.
Longoria gets his second RBI of the season. While we have a chance, we remind you to vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the McCafe Frappe. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338, or you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. See the final results postgame during Tigers Live.
If Rick is going to throw a first pitch fastball here to Matt Joyce, he needs to make sure that he locates it in an area where Joyce can't do any damage.
Bouncing ball to short. Should get him out of the inning. Peralta on to first. Out by half a step. It was close. They'll leave him loaded, but the Rays get a run.
Talked to the media this morning. There was a lot going on. They have decided that Adam Wilk will pitch on Saturday. They bring him up from Toledo. Brandon Inge is on his way to Toledo as we speak. He will be playing tonight in a rehab assignment. He's going to be DHing for the Mud Hens, and then will play second base the following 2 days. Also right now, Leland dealing with a bunch of guys in the clubhouse that are sick. Santiago is sick. Alex Avila is sick. Also, Max Scherzer went home before batting practice even started today because he wasn't feeling well either. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Shannon, thank you very much. Yeah, usually once or twice throughout the course of the year, you'll have that bug floating around through the locker room, and it's hit the Tigers early this year. A lot of guys just look sickly in the clubhouse these days.
It usually does happen early once you leave Florida, or whether you're leaving Arizona, where it's hot just about every day, and then you go to a cold weather city. So it's not that uncommon.
Gerald Laird leading things off, and Danny Worth and Austin Jackson. It's popped up middle of the infield. Sean Rodriguez, and Laird is out, one gone. Well, Santiago was supposed to start at second base today. Ramon one of those scratches because of illness, and so Danny Worth takes his spot. And also Shannon mentioned that Adam Wilk will get the start filling in for Pfister. He went 5 innings in his first start, gave up just 1 hit and struck out 6 for Toledo, so he was pitching well there, and that's why he gets the call, we assume. Danny Worth looks at a strike. Danny Worth, since we saw him when he first came up a couple of years ago, and he's had some sporadic time in the big leagues, seemingly, Rod, has gotten a lot stronger. He hit with more power last year at Toledo.
There has never been a question of his ability to play defense, but if he was going to be a regular or a platoon player in the major leagues, he had to hit a little bit more.
Meanwhile, Moore carves him up on 3 pitches.
Talked about the delivery of Moore. It's a nice, easy delivery, and he's got that easy gas. Looks like he's thrown about 89 to 91 miles an hour, but it's 97 when he's got his best fastball.
That's his second strikeout. Here's Austin Jackson. He fanned back in the first inning. Austin hitting safely in each of the first 3 for the Tigers. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Moore is 7 of 10 in first pitch strikes to the Tigers hitters so far this afternoon.
High and tight, 2-1. Only 22 years old. He won't be 23 until June 18th. Swing and a miss.
I believe that's his changeup. We talked about the fastball in the mid-90s. He's got a really good curveball, and here's a changeup at 86 miles an hour. But the key to that pitch is he did not have any deceleration in his arm speed.
Well, you talk about a golden arm, especially coming from the left side. Here's the 3-2. And he walked him. So Jackson with a 2-out base on balls.
Hey fans, you can see the Tigers battle the Rays tomorrow and Thursday at 1:05 and enjoy the Super Spring Special. 16 mezzanine dollar seats are just $10 and $24 upper box seats are just $12. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Here is Brennan Bosch with 2 outs. Did you happen to see who's throwing tomorrow in the game? Pitching for both sides. It's going to be a great matchup.
Big Game James.
Big Game James and Justin Verlander. Verlander and Shields tomorrow at 1:05. Smiley and Neiman finish it out on Thursday.
Shields trying to get the taste out of opening day out of his mouth. He did not pitch all that well against the New York Yankees, even though the Rays eventually won that game.
Bosch bounced out his first time up. Tigers trail 1-0. We're in the 3rd. Whistled back out of play. Here's the upcoming pitching matchup presented by Gordon Chevrolet. We'll give you the specifics. Of course, Verlander had that lights out game on opening day. No decision.
Looked like he had not missed a beat from last year. 8 innings, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, only gave up 3 hits to a really good Boston Red Sox lineup.
Oh, 0-2 on Bosch. Make it 1-2. That last one at 94 from the lefty Moore. Moore last year began the season in Double-A. He appeared in 5 games at the big league level with the Rays. That included the postseason. Was 2-0 in that stretch. ERA of under 2. That's pulled and through. Base hit. Jackson hits the bag at second. He's coming to third. And he was in there standing up. And Brennan Bosch has a base hit.
They wanted this curveball away, but it stayed up, and it allowed Brennan Bosch to catch up with it and hit a seed right past Carlos Pena. Really nice concentration there by Brennan Bosch. We've always talked about Bosch the last couple of years. He seems to do some of his best work against left-handed pitching.
Give him another base hit against the lefty. Tigers have their second hit of the game. And what it does is extends the inning now for Miguel Cabrera.
American League Player of the Week.
Foul back out of play.
He is one guy that will take that fastball in the mid-90s and not try to pull it. He will simply lead with the bat knob and pull his hands through the strike zone, which allows the barrel of the bat to get right over the heart of the plate and use the big part of the ballpark. RBI machine.
Cabrera did something this past weekend that hadn't been done by a Tiger since at least 1920.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, and it might have been even farther. This is when they kept the stat, but his 8 RBIs, the most in the first 3 games of the season for a Tiger since at least 1920. That gets through. Here comes Jackson, and the Tigers have tied it up. Thank you very much. Wild pitch.
Molina couldn't get the tailgate down. Ball right through the legs. It's a changeup. You can see the grip. Circle change. Threw it right in the dirt. As a matter of fact, that ball might have hit the plate and skidded. Molina anticipated that it would block. It would hit the dirt and come up. That's why the glove wasn't down, and it appeared to hit the plate and just kind of skidded across the plate underneath Molina.
Meanwhile, Bosch moved up to second base as well on that play. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Miguel. 1-1 ball game. We're in the bottom of the third. Here's the go-ahead run. Bosch. And the 2-2.
Cabrera seeing a lot of fastballs in the first 4 games of the year with Prince Fielder batting behind him. And it's one of the reasons why Miguel was Player of the Week. When you have number 28 standing in that on-deck circle, not going to get pitched around all that frequently this year. Although there are some managers that just won't deal with Cabrera. He is that good.
Shot to right field on a line and caught on a slide out there by Zobrist. Nicely done. Inning over. Tigers tied up on a wild pitch. From Matt Moore with Cabrera at the plate. Scores the game tire, and now Rick Porcello back to work. Ben Zobrist leading it off for the Tampa Bay Rays. It'll be Zobrist, Keppinger, and then Sean Rodriguez. Rick working quickly, misses inside. Zobrist flied out his first time up, 0 for 1. We're talking about how this Rays team loves to walk. They did a lot of that last year. Zobrist had 13 walks in spring training, which led all teams down in the Grapefruit League, but twice in his career he's walked over 90 times in a season.
Good pitch. Change piece at 81 miles an hour. One of the things about the changeup is you have to think fastball when you throw it. That way there's no deceleration in your arm speed.
In the air, shallow center, the shortstop Peralta back, called off by Jackson, and Austin hauls it in. It's the second time Zobrist has flied out, one away. What do you think about Porcello so far? Had a little bit of trouble in the third, but looks pretty good.
I'd like to see him get below the knees with that two-seamer. Too many of them have been up in the strike zone, but that changeup that he threw to Zobrist was a really good pitch. We haven't seen many breaking balls today. Mostly two-seam fastballs, but he needs to make sure that he stays at the bottom of the strike zone.
Here is Keppinger.
See, there's a fastball up.
Yep. At 90 miles an hour, and he falls behind 1-0.
He might be a little amped up. This is his opening day.
Well, we showed you that graphic about guys under the age of 24. Porcello has 38 career wins. He had career highs in innings pitched and strikeouts last year. He's making incremental improvements every single season. He won 14 games.
He was in the big leagues after just 1 year of A-ball, basically.
Bouncing ball to short. Johnny has it on an easy hop. 2 gone. Well, time now for the Farmers Insurance Report Card. Want to talk about youth and starting rotations, and how about this? The Tigers have the 3rd youngest rotation in the major leagues. The Rays are the 6th youngest.
A couple of good staffs, and that's one of the reasons why the Tigers' future is awfully bright.
Hit hard on one hop to second, right at Danny Worth. Sean Rodriguez is out. 1-2-3 inning for Rick Porcello.
Heroics from the 11th inning a couple of days ago. Cabrera and also fielders took a couple of lousy singles the opposite way, which is unheard of for a couple of big guys, to set the stage for Avila, who got out in front of a breaking ball and hit the ball to right field for a 3-run home run walk-off variety. But the 2 at-bats by Cabrera and Fielder down by a couple of runs were tremendous in that situation.
Kind of shows how unselfish they are, doesn't it?
No doubt.
Instead of swinging for the fences, they prolonged the innings, and it was Avila who was the hero. Prince takes the ball up high.
Cabrera goes the opposite way with regularity. That's just how good he is. That's why he won a batting title last year. But Prince really gave himself up with the infield shaded around towards second. He tried to hit the ball right down that third baseline and was successful doing so.
Fielder is 0 for 1 in this game with a pop-up.
They've got a shift on Fielder, but it's not to the extent that the Boston Red Sox had their shift on Prince.
Here's the 2-0.
I was talking to Prince before the game, and he was watching some video on Matt Moore in the clubhouse, and he says he likes the way the Tigers play the video of the opposing pitchers in the clubhouse. He says that's how he likes to watch it. He says if he goes in that video room, he starts to think too much. He watches too much, thinks too much.
Well, he's got himself a walk here to lead off the 4th.
But he said just by watching more on the big screen in the Tigers clubhouse, that's just enough. Watch a few pitches, watch how he attacks some other left-handed power hitters, and that gives him all he needs.
No paralysis by analysis, which sometimes you can do if you sit in front of a machine and watch it over and over and over. Here's Delman Young. Meanwhile, 3 walks now for Matt Moore. Ball 1 to Delman. Young had a single to lead off the second. Later in the inning, though, Moore received a double play ball from Johnny Peralta.
Delman had a really good spring. His bat was lightning quick. He'll need some of this quickness in that bat on this 1-0 delivery if Moore decides to throw that fastball inside, where he's thrown a lot of them today.
And he went right in there, but missed. How impressive is that for a young guy? Now, I know he has really good stuff, but this is a really good lineup that he's facing today, and he's not afraid to do that.
Give him a lot of the credit because he's the one that's throwing the baseball. But there's no question that Molina, the catcher, is leading him in that direction. Molina knows how difficult it is to hit that good firm fastball inside.
2 balls, no strikes. Now Delman Young, and 6 straight balls this inning now for Moore, so that brings the veteran catcher out to the mound.
Here's where you have to cheat a little bit on that fastball if you're Delman.
Got it at 93 and fouled it straight back.
There are certain counts during the course of your at-bats when you know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you're going to get a fastball, and that was one of them.
Checked it. Oh, he went around, says first base umpire, and that would be Corey Blazer.
Pretty close.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with a fastball. 3rd strikeout for Moore. 1 away here in the 4th.
Fell behind him 2-0 and came right back with 3 heaters at 93. Threw that last one right by Delman.
Now Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn skies one to center field. Desmond Jennings backing up. 2 gone. That sounded good, but there's so much room out there in center field. 420 to dead center field. Jennings able to track it down. You can tell these guys are cold out there today, man. They've got those hats that come down over the ears.
They were all bundled up during batting practice today.
It's not this cold in the Trop, that's for sure. And even the fans bringing the blankets to the ballpark today. temp right now is holding steady at 42. Strike called on Peralta. Johnny 0 for 1, double play ball back in the second. One ball, one strike. Peralta on Sunday had a big 3-run double early in that game against the Red Sox. And Johnny off to a nice start, came in 5 for 12. Moore has fallen behind 2-1.
Very high percentage of fastballs that Moore has thrown this afternoon to the Tigers hitters. Very few off-speed pitches.
And they're defending him like they would. It's big-time power hitters. They have 3 defenders to the left side of the infield. And he shoots one to right on a line. It's straight at Zobrist. That'll end the inning. Leadoff walk, nothing doing though. 4 in the books here at Comerica. Is brought to you by Arby's. Arby's value menu will have you coming back for more without emptying your wallet. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Back here in downtown Detroit on a chilly afternoon in the Motor City. Fox Theater all lit up right across the street. And the Tigers and the Rays doing battle. One of these teams will be 4-0 after this one here today. They don't have ties in baseball, do they?
No, they don't have ties in baseball.
Just
only
check.
in spring training.
Oh, that's true. And we had a ton of them in
5.
spring training, did we? Well, both of these teams coming in at 3-0. Off to good starts. Jose Molina leads it off in a half-hearted swing.
Good pitch. Breaking ball. Molina sold out for that fastball, and Porcello located that breaking ball beautifully.
Reed Brignac and Desmond Jennings to follow in the Tampa Bay 5th inning. Bouncing ball left side deep in the hole. He's got time. Molina doesn't run. Here's the off balance throw, and he got him.
Great call on your part. And Johnny knew he had time. All he had to do was make the play. He took one step and he bounced the ball over the Prince fielder. Nice job by Peralta, showing some range to his right.
About 5 feet to the outfield grass. Little one hopper. And Molina lumbering down the line is an out.
That's one thing the Molina brothers weren't blessed with.
Foot speed.
Foot speed. They can catch and throw, though.
They can do that. Reed Brignac. I guess that Yadier over in the National League is probably considered the premier catcher, wouldn't you think, in the game right now?
Yes.
Brignac singled, scored a run, and he drives one to right field. Bosch coming in.
There's some good young catchers. Of course, we have one in Alex Avila. You mentioned Yadier. They got a good catcher in Arizona as well, Montero.
Right.
Buster Posey. Some good young catchers in baseball.
Here is Desmond Jennings with 2 outs. Single and a strikeout for Jennings. In there, a strike 0-1. Porcello had thrown only 53 pitches through 4 innings. And he's working at a really nice pace here this afternoon. Wave and a miss, 0-2. Which is always refreshing to see. Jeff Jones knows he has a talented staff to work with this year. Porcello thought he had strike 3 there. A couple of the Tigers infielders were headed to the dugout.
Where was it?
It was awfully close. Next pitch bounces in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Porcello, 23 years old, born in Morristown, New Jersey. 14-game winner last year. Here's the 2-2 offering. The one thing I remember from Rick last year, the one start that he made that was so impressive was the one he made in Pittsburgh, when he gave up just 1 hit in 8 innings of work against the Pirates in interleague play.
He had them all working that day.
And it's that type of effort that he's trying to bottle up and be more consistent with. Jennings fights that one off.
He has thrown Jennings some outstanding 2-seam fastballs today with tremendous life on them.
Swing and a miss. Jennings is out of there. 3 strikeouts for Porcello and a 1-2-3 fifth inning. Got a little help though from his friends. Johnny Peralta going to the hole to make a play.
hear this very often, but it is snowing here in Detroit. You don't think that's going to happen during baseball season, but inevitably this year it does. And the Rays do something very interesting. They try to have kind of some team chemistry going for each away series. The theme this series is keeping warm. Hats and scarves, that's what the guys were wearing for warm-up before the game. That's what they'll continue to wear if the snow keeps coming. But in trips past, I hope you're looking at these pictures here, they've had some fun with funky colored pants, all kind of, different outfits together. You never quite know what you're going to get when the Rays come to town, and I'm going to have much more on that tomorrow during our Tigers Live pregame show that starts at 12:30. Guys, I'll send it back to you up in the warm booth because it's really starting to snow now.
Hate to tell you this, Shannon, but it is awfully warm up here. We've got the heater running and everything. Here is another picture. Look at Joe Madden.
Cleaner than the Board of Health, isn't he?
Well, I don't know if I'd use the word clean to describe him in that outfit. Ridiculous is the first one that comes to mind for me.
They wore pajamas on one flight. Every time they go to Miami and play in interleague play, they wear white.
Is that right?
Yeah, they wear white. White out.
Don Johnson look at Miami Vice.
Yeah. Crockett and Tubbs.
Gerald Laird leading it off as the snow falls here at Comerica Park in the bottom of the fifth. Well, you got to love Joe Madden and his, I guess, ability to loosen up his team.
That's what they do.
Awfully fun to watch some of the stuff they do. Hopefully Jim Leland won't employ any of his ideas when it comes to dressing up.
You wouldn't wear some PJs?
Well, if I had to, I guess I would. Strike called, and Laird is punched out of there, one gone.
Meanwhile, Moore continues to use that fastball in a very effective way. 93 at the knees. Look at his delivery. Nice and easy, smooth. This guy's impressive.
He is impressive, and he will be in a Rays uniform for a while. They've got him locked up as well, and he hadn't pitched all that much in the big leagues. He's just picked up his fourth strikeout. Danny Worth, the batter. Danny struck out back in the second, or make it the third. He is 0 for 1. A little bit outside. 93 on that fastball. Moore working quickly. The 1-1 is inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Again, Santiago is scheduled to start today at second base. He is ill, and so Danny Worth gets the late call. And he skies one in the air to right field, not deep. Zobrist is under it. And there are 2 away. Well, the Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on Matt Moore. We want to check out the top 5 prospects according to Baseball American. He's on that list.
Bryce Harper, of course, talented outfielder of the Washington Nationals. Mike Trout of the Angels. Yu Darvish on that list. He made his major league debut in last night's game. Did you check any of it out?
I did. I saw the first inning in which he threw 42 pitches.
He looked nervous, though, didn't he?
He looked nervous, and he gave up 4 runs, but he eventually won that game.
Texas has that kind of offense.
Jackson, the batter. Austin has a walk and a strikeout, but in each of his first 2 at-bats, he has run the count full against Matt Moore. So he's worked him a little bit. The count goes to 2-1. You can tell, though, Darvish is going to be a really good big league pitcher. I mean, his fastball was mid-90s. Good breaking ball. A little bit outside, run it to 3-1. 1 run, 2 hits for Detroit. 1 run, 3 hits for the Tampa Bay Rays. And he walked him. So another really good at bat here by Austin Jackson.
We talk a lot about Jackson and the fact that he's not using that leg kick anymore. But the one thing I've been impressed with him is his 2-strike approach. Take a look at these pitches he's fouling off with 2 strikes. These are pitchers' pitches. He's able to foul them off. And then they have to get a little closer to the dish. And that's when Jackson's done a lot of his damage this year. We've well documented the start that he's gotten himself off to. That's because that 2-strike approach has been very good this year.
4 walks to go with the 4 strikeouts for Moore.
Because that was his issue coming into the year. He just struck out too much. Some of those balls that he's fouling off now with 2 strikes, when he had that leg kick last year, he would be out in front, therefore not getting a good look at those pitches, therefore not able to foul them off.
Do you think that there is any portion of his improvement due to the fact that maybe he's just maturing as a hitter now and seeing more reps in the big league?
That's part of it, and confidence. He's always been confident.
No doubt. Yeah, he really has. He's got himself a pretty good lead at first base. Strike called. 0-1 on Bosch. 1 for 2 today for Bosch. He had a single back in the 3rd. That was the inning the Tigers picked up their run. Ground ball back up the middle. It finds a hole into center field. Jackson racing toward third base. He's in, standing up. Second hit for Bosch.
Bosch has hit a couple of balls extremely hard through the infield. His last time up, he got a breaking ball that he hit between first and second. That time, he goes right past the second baseman to his right, hitting a fastball aggressively.
He is facing a really good, tough left-handed pitcher today, and he has 2 hits. Doesn't appear to be trying to do way too much, and so now the Tigers have a scoring chance because of that.
And no doubt they will be very careful here with Miguel Cabrera. And no disrespect to field in the on-deck circle, but they will pitch cautiously to Miguel. Told you last time up that Miguel has that uncanny ability to pull his hands inside the baseball and take that base hit the opposite way. He doesn't necessarily have to hit the ball out of the ballpark to beat you.
Although it's nice when he does. Way outside, 1-0.
He'll go right through there for a base hit in an RBI. He does it with regularity. Looks like they're pitching around him.
Not to anyone's surprise, I don't think. Joe Madden last year walked him intentionally a few times, although the different dynamic this year is Prince Fielder sitting behind him, and now they're just going to finish it off and walk him intentionally.
This is the second intentional base on balls of the year for Cabrera.
So if you're Prince Fielder on deck, obviously you don't take offense to this because of the type of hitter that Cabrera is, but you know Fielder's got to be a little bit extra jacked up about this event.
No question about that. Hey fans, while we have a moment, I want to let you know that you can join us again tomorrow when the Tigers take on the Tampa Bay Rays right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Coverage starts at 12:30 with Tigers Live, followed by the game at 1 o'clock. That's tomorrow for Tigers baseball here on Fox Sports Detroit. I talked about this on opening day, Mario, and it's the fact that last year, Prince hitting behind the National League MVP in Ryan Braun. Braun was only walked twice intentionally the entire season. Cabrera has 2 already.
Yep. Well, that speaks volumes in a lot of different ways. So they're loaded up now with 2 outs. And a strike called on Prince. 21st pitch thrown in this inning now for Moore, who has trouble. He's got Jackson at third. He's got Bosch at second. And Cabrera lurking at first base. High fly ball left field. Matt Joyce camping under it, and the inning is over. And so is the threat. No runs, couple of walks and a hit. They leave him loaded. For the AT&T trivia question, as we flash back to last year, other than Evan Longoria, who is the only major league player to hit a walk-off home run to clinch a postseason berth in his team's final game. There's only been one other guy, and of course here was a celebration last year that brought to an end a remarkable final day of the season.
Game 162 was special.
Here are the final standings from last year. The Rays finished 6 behind the Yankees, but they caught the Red Sox for the wild card. An incredible stretch in September.
They started the month of September 9 games behind the Boston Red Sox for the wild card.
It'll be Carlos Pena leading it off in the 6th inning. Well, there were 2 monumental collapses in the American and National League last year. Of course, we talked about it during the Red Sox series. Tampa just found a way to do it, and the incredible thing is Tampa was down 8-0 in their game late. That is ripped at first, and Prince makes the play.
Carlos Pena is locked in at the beginning of this year. He probably would have been player of the week had it not been for what Miguel Cabrera did here at Comerica Park.
I agree. Boy, does he hit the ball hard.
Yes, he does.
Here is Longoria. Bases loaded walk for Longoria back in the 3rd, provided the Tampa Bay run. Tigers got one of their own in the bottom of the 3rd, and that's where we stand as we play in the 6th.
That's where you want to pitch Longoria. You want to go down and you want to stay away from him.
Low and away again, 1-1. Longoria is still only 26 years of age. First round pick in 06. Gerald Laird dropping the signs today, and a bouncer back up the middle. Peralta can't get there. 1-out single for Longoria.
It's a fastball away, and Longoria did with it exactly what you would teach as a hitting instructor. Right back up the box.
Porcello had retired 8 straight prior to that base hit by Longoria. That's skied in the air, shallow right field. Danny Worth to make the play, and there are 2 gone. Let's check in for another game break now. To the studio we go with Mickey York. Absolutely, Mick, and you know, it's the best time of the year. I mean, April, the Tigers are off and running. The Red Wings are in the playoffs.
April in the D, baby.
Absolutely. Ben Zobrist, the batter. A couple of fly balls for Zobrist, 0 for 2, and he looks at a strike. Zobrist had one of those big hits against Rivera in the save that Mariano Rivera blew against the Rays. He had a big triple against Rivera in the 9th inning on Friday night. And he shoots this one on a little looper toward left center. It'll drop in. He golfed it out there. That's his first hit today. 2-out threat now going for Tampa Bay.
He hit it like Porcello threw it. Change up down, right off the end of the bat.
Five hits for the Rays, the first for Zobrist. Here's Jeff Keppinger. Good block by Laird. Keppinger's a veteran player. He's been around a few different teams. 8-year veteran.
Did a nice job last year against left-handed pitching. One of the reasons why they signed him. But getting a start today against a right-hander.
He led their team in hits during spring training with 18. And he's the guy that puts the ball in play and doesn't strike out very rarely. In fact, he had 61 plate appearances in spring training. He whiffed only twice. Trying to put it in play here, and he looks at a strike, 2-1. Pair of singles here in the 6th inning for Tampa Bay, and Porcello hits the outside corner. 2-2. Rick's best month last year was July. He was 5-0 with a 3.06 ERA. And he got him, strike 3.
Look out, Ricky.
I just talked about how Keppinger doesn't strike out. Guess what? That'll end the inning. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Detroit is brought to you by Burger King, the proud sponsor of opening week baseball. By the way, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Well, here come the Tigers now as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning at Comerica Park on a chilly afternoon. Temperature in the low 40s today. Matt Moore goes back to work. And Delman Young stands in there. It'll be Young, then Rayburn, and then Johnny Peralta in a 1-1 game. Delman takes inside. 2-0. Moore has 4 strikeouts and 5 walks, one of them intentional. He's gone to 3-0.
Wouldn't be shocked to see Delman with the green light here. 3 balls, no strikes.
He took it, and it's 3-1.
He was taking all the way, too.
Popped up, right side of the infield. Rodriguez, 1 out.
As soon as the game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live. Here from manager Jim Leland and the players. Plus, we'll break down the game, show you all the highlights. Tigers Live immediately after the game from the Carl Sam Studios here on Fox Sports Detroit. Mickey York and Craig Monroe hanging out in the Coliseum studios today.
Simo. There's a strike called on Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn 0 for 2. Pop up fly ball. Inside and high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rayburn now 2 for 14 to begin 2012. Had a really good start to spring camp. In fact, he finished 3rd in the Grapefruit League with 19 RBIs. That's in the shallow center field. The shortstop Brignac is back. 2 up, 2 down here in the 6th.
Moore, awfully impressive. Tigers with only 3 hits today. Throwing that fastball inside the mid-90s to all the right-handers. Really good feel for the changeup. Good breaking ball, although on a day like today where it's really chilly, the breaking ball appears to not be as effective as it has been for Moore. Has to be hard to throw it.
Although Verlander on opening day had no trouble.
None.
Wasn't quite this chilly, but it was cool as well on opening day. Johnny Peralta, the batter. Well, the Rays were very aggressive in how they dealt with Moore. They signed him to a 5-year deal.
That was after just 9 innings of big league experience.
I mean, obviously they know what they have, but still it is a calculated risk. 1-1 pitch. That's in there, a strike.
He's pitching now. First pitch to Peralta was a breaking ball for a strike. Then a fastball. Changeup.
Johnny 0 for 2, hit into a double play back in the 2nd, lined out in the 4th. He skies this one to center. That'll be routine for Jennings. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Moore, and we have played 6 here at Comerica Park. Was other than Evan Longoria, who is the only major league player to hit a walk-off home run to clinch a postseason berth in his team's final game. And I'm sure if you're a baseball fan, you'll remember this one. We have to go back a ways, but it's 1951. Bobby Thompson against the Brooklyn Dodgers. Shot heard around the world, and Longoria years later in 2011 catapults his team into the playoffs. Well, they're all bundled up today, especially the young ones. 42 degrees at game time, and it's still 42. We've had some snow flurries actually fall in the middle of this one as Porcello goes back to work.
I like the way that Porcello has attacked these Tampa hitters the last couple of innings. leading several players off with off-speed pitches.
Sean Rodriguez 0 for 2, strikeout and a ground out. Porcello just looks really confident out there. He's worked at a nice pace all day.
He had a great spring. He's picked right up where he left off.
Popped him up behind the plate. Laird, one gone. Now Jose Molina. Couple of ground balls for Molina. And Peralta went deep in the hole last time to get it. Ball outside, 1-0. Pulled over the head of the third baseman Cabrera down the line. And it's touched by a fan leaning over the railing. So it'll be a two-base hit for Jose Molina.
Hey fans, you can see the Tigers battle the Mariners April 24th and 25th at 7:05. Take advantage of the Super Spring Special. $16 mezzanine seats are just $10, and $24 upper box seats are $12. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Tigers got a tough break there. I'm not so sure he makes it to second base there.
I was thinking the same thing. And that fan right there automatically turns that into a double. Sixth hit in the ball game now for Tampa Bay. Reed Brignac, the hitter, 1 for 2. Ball low. Tigers have been limited to just 3 hits this afternoon. 6 for Tampa Bay. That's pop foul back out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike on Reed Brignac. Brignac missed 2 weeks of spring training with a foot problem this year. He was their opening day shortstop in 2011. But he hit only 193 last year for the Rays. Pulls that one on the ground to second. Danny Worth gobbles it up. Molina goes to third. 2 gone. Got some action now. Octavio Dotel along with Phil Koch, the righty-lefty combo.
You have to be careful here if you're Cabrera with Jennings in the batter's box, even though there are 2 outs. The Rays like to bunt for base hits when there's a runner on third.
Strike called on Jennings.
Although it probably wouldn't be all that wise to do it with Molina on third base. But that is something that they do a lot of.
Yeah, that probably takes that out of order, I would think, but who knows. The 0-1. Roll toward third. Foul. 0-2 on Desmond Jennings. Each team got a run in the third. Porcello and Moore have done some really good work here this afternoon. The Rays trying to go ahead here in the 7th with 2 outs. Ground ball left side. Diving stop by Peralta. No chance though. And the go-ahead run will score as Molina crosses to make it 2-1 Tampa Bay.
Not a good 0-2 pitch there by Porcello. Way too much plate with a runner on third.
Peralta was wise to hold on to this baseball.
He wasn't going to throw Jennings out. Gerald Laird may have to throw him out after he attempts a steal.
Here's Carlos Pena.
No doubt one of the reasons why Carlos Pena batting second today, which is a spot that is normally reserved for a table setter, is the fact that with Jennings on first base, most pitchers will throw fastballs in that situation, and he feasts on fastballs.
0-1. Jennings was a prolific base stealer in the minor leagues. 188 bases stolen in parts of 6 minor league seasons.
Porcello today has thrown some of the best changeups that I've ever seen him throw.
That's high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pena was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd. He is 0 for 2 otherwise. Jennings so far this year has attempted 1 steal. He was successful. Runner goes. Here comes the throw from Laird. It's on the bag. The tag. Got him. Oh, you called that one, and Gerald was up for the task. Jennings caught stealing. Inning over. However, the Rays take the lead.
Decided to sign Gerald Laird to a free agent contract in the offseason is because of his catching and his throwing ability. Look at him clear his body out away from the hitter and make a firm throw down to second base to throw out Jennings, who could really run.
Jennings cut down for the first time this year. Rays have taken the lead, and Matt Moore, meanwhile, goes out there for another inning of work. He comes in with 94 pitches at this point, and Laird slaps it in the air to center. Jennings over there to make the play. 1 pitch, 1 out.
That is 12 flyouts today by Tigers hitters, and just 3 ground balls thrown by Moore.
Well, it looks like they're going to want to try and get him through 7 innings here and perhaps turn things over to their bullpen. They're working right now. He needs 2 more outs to get through 7. Here's Danny Worth. He skies this one of the year down the right field line. Zobrist. He made a pretty good attempt, but it bounces into the seats.
Didn't quite know how much room he had.
Jake McGee and former Tiger property Burke Badenhop warming up. Ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 2.
You don't often see a kid this young for the kind of feel for pitching that he has.
Popped up behind the plate. Molina has room. Worth is out. Boy, they just have an embarrassment of riches in the pitching department.
That's how they win. Pitching and defense.
How's that breakdown you were talking about?
13 of them.
Any reason why in your mind?
The fastball. It's firm. It's in the mid-90s. He's pitched inside aggressively. Very few Tigers have been able to barrel the ball up today. Therefore, a lot of guys are late, popping balls up, hitting fly balls in the outfield.
This will be his 100th pitch. Jackson fouls it away.
There's an example of what I'm talking about. Guys are just a little bit tardy on that heater. And you know it's coming. He's thrown about 85% heaters today.
1 ball, 1 strike. Jackson has had a couple of walks. He has scored the Tigers' only run. 2-1 Tampa here in the 7th. Rolled foul. With the way this Tigers offense performed this past weekend, it seemed like anybody would be able to slow him down, although the rookie Matt Moore has done a fine job today, scattering just 3 hits.
Well, they'd like to get him out of the game and try their luck with that bullpen today.
Here's the 1-2. Jackson spoils one to stay alive. Off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bosch on deck. Off the inside part of the plate that time. 3-2.
He hasn't shaken Molina off all afternoon.
Meanwhile, Jackson has gone a full count 3 times against Moore today. Swung on it, belted high in the air, deep into left field. Joyce going back to the wall, and we are tied. Austin Jackson makes it 2-2. What a day for Jackson.
Austin finally timed one of those fastballs that was up. It was right down the middle. He cleared his hips out of the way nicely, which got that bat through the strike zone in a timely manner and into the Tigers bullpen. That was the first time that I can remember Moore shaking off Molina. He shook him off before that pitch was delivered to Jackson. Molina wanted something else.
Well, the rookie made a mistake, and it was deposited out into left field. Joe Madden wanted to get him through 7. It won't happen. They'll go to the bullpen, and we'll step aside in a 2-2 game.
courtesy of the home run by Austin Jackson. Take a look at Moore's head right here on the mound. Watch him shake. He shook off Molina. He got back to his fastball. He threw it. He threw it right down the middle, about belt buckle high, and Jackson crushed it.
His 106th pitch of the afternoon is a home run by Jackson, tying the game at 2 runs apiece. And another wall-side windows pitching change. It is Jake McGee coming out of the pen.
McGee's got a good fastball, anywhere from 94 to 96 miles an hour. Also has a really nice tight slider, anywhere from 82 to 84. He'll come right after you.
And he'll have to go after Brendan Bosch here with 2 outs. The 2-out solo shot by Jackson ties it at 2.
Bosch had 2 hits off of the starter, Matt Moore.
Moore had a couple of, or I should say McGee rather, had a couple of stints in the big leagues last year with the Rays. And breaks camp with the big club this year, and he misses low, 1-0. Bosch had a single in the 3rd, a single in the 5th. That'll get back out of play, third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Back-to-back fastballs at 94 by McGee. That's usually where he sits.
Took McGee 7 years to get to the big leagues. He was drafted in 04 and was steadily climbing the ladder in the Rays minor league organization. Missed low and away, 2-1. Jake McGee out of Sparks, Nevada. 25 years old. Shot toward left field on a line, and a leap by Joyce. That almost got over his head. Jackson is able to tie it up, though, a 2-out solo shot. A 2-2 game. You're watching Tigers baseball, presented by Bell Tire.
Here after 7 strong innings. Rick used both sides of the plate this afternoon with a real good 2-seam fastball. His changeup was very effective, and when he had him looking for that pitch, he threw some really nice breaking balls as well.
And so Porcello will give way to Phil Koch, who's tuning up on the hill right now. Here's our Comerica game summary. 2-2 game in the 8th. Austin Jackson's solo shot ties it up, and the numbers on the 2 starters. Porcello goes 7. Matt Moore goes 6 2/3. Both pitch really well today, and Now it's going to be decided by the bullpens. And as we mentioned, the new pitcher is Phil Coke.
48 games last year for Phil Coke. The majority of those games out of the bullpen. Now, he is much better than a 4.47 ERA guy, but his numbers were elevated as a starter at the beginning of the season. It really took him all year to kind of get that ER down in a manageable area.
Well, Mr. Coke now is charged with making sure this stays a 2-2 game as he goes to work here in the 8th. He will face the slugging left-handed batting Carlos Pena.
Yeah, the key is don't leave anything over the inner third as far as the fastball is concerned with Pena. He's got true power.
They want the appeal on that check swing. He did not go, says Ed Hickox.
Good call by Mr. Hickox.
A little confab going on now. Molina doing most of the talking. Swing and a miss.
No doubt talking about the location of that last pitch to Jackson. One thing about Jackson today, he had seen a lot of pitches for more. He was 3 balls and 2 strikes on just about every one of his at-bats today. Finally caught up with a fastball. Did Jackson.
Two and one. Pena, Longoria, Joyce. 2, 3, and 4 for Joe Maddon's team here in the 8th. Line drive to left, base hit. Carlos Pena is on to lead off the 8th.
Hey fans, join us Thursday for more basketball when the Pistons take on the Charlotte Bobcats. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Pistons Live on Fox Sports Detroit. That's Pistons basketball Thursday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Detroit.
Well, the leadoff man on here in the 8th, and now Evan Longoria will stand in. Longoria has had a bases loaded walk to drive in a run and a single today. Try to check it, 1 around. 8 hits now for the Rays, only 4 for the Tigers, but the home run by Jackson was able to tie it up, as you see Schlereth and Dotel tuning up. Here's the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike on Longoria. Dating back to last year now, he's hitting his last 8 straight. Of course, the first 4 here in 2012. Off the end of the bat, 1 and 2. Longoria last year averaged an RBI every 5 at bats. You talk about some major production after missing most of April last year. He really turned it on.
He's one of the best players in our game.
Yeah, he is just not an offensive performer. He can pick it too.
And you brought it up earlier. Surprisingly, did not get drafted out of high school. He said he was too small, too skinny, wasn't strong. Went to a junior college, then to a D1 school, and found himself as the 3rd player drafted in 2006. He went from being undrafted out of high school to being the 3rd player chosen in the country out of college.
Guys that get to the big leagues this quickly and have an impact as quickly as he had, I mean, very rarely are they not drafted out of high school.
A lot of times you think maybe they've outpriced themselves, right, because they're going to a major college or something. Not him.
The 1-2, driven down the left field line, but it's going to hook.
Sometimes guys have scholarships to Stanford or Michigan or some of your really good schools across the country, and they kind of put the scouts on alert as it's going to take a lot of money to sign me. Therefore, scouts pass on those guys because they don't want to compete with that college scholarship.
He went to Rio Hondo Junior College and then on to Long Beach State. And he reaches out and pops this one in the air. Right side of the infield. Danny Worth to the grass. That's one big out. Longoria retired. Here's Matt Joyce. So another lefty-lefty matchup here. One for 3 for Joyce. 1 homer, 4 RBIs so far this season. The trade that sent him from Detroit to the Tampa Bay Rays sent him home. He grew up in the Tampa area in Brandon, Florida. And he looks at strike 1. Did you know that Matt Joyce led the Rays last year in intentional walks?
No, I didn't know that.
He had 9. Of course, I'm sure a few of those came early in the year when he was tearing the cover off the ball. Swing and a miss.
You wouldn't think that on a team that has Evan Longoria on it.
Right.
Meanwhile, really good pitch there by Phil Koch. Off-speed pitch at 81 miles an hour.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Joyce tried to hold up, couldn't do it. First strikeout for Phil Koch. 5 total now for Tigers pitching.
Against the left-hander, that's exactly where you want your breaking ball. You want it away from them, and you want your catcher to have to go down and smother it. That means you've located it exactly where he asked for you to locate it.
So here is Ben Zobrist. Strike 1. Tiger bullpen through the first 3 games this season, a 2.30 ERA. And the bullpen picked up all 3 wins in that series against Boston. Of course, the Tigers have some high octane arms coming out of that pen. They struck out 17, the bullpen did, in 14 innings of work. That's fouled off, and that one caught Laird. 0-2. They've got him on the bare hand. Ouch.
Gerald Laird is one of those guys that does not put his hands behind his back. There are some catchers that put their hand behind their back, but Laird is not one of those. He always keeps it out in front.
Well, I asked him about that a couple of years ago, and he said, you know, when you think about it, very rarely are balls tipped straight back at you. And so it doesn't happen that often, but it happened here, and he took a direct hit.
But take one more look at it. It's not a fist, though. I mean, it's kind of limp. It's kind of limp when it hits his hand, and you can see the hand is open. Therefore, doesn't take the brunt of the ball, I guess I should say.
It absorbs the shock, yeah, a lot better. Chilly afternoon, a 41-degree day. That's going to hurt for a while. No balls, 2 strikes on Ben Zobrist. Pena led off the inning with a single. Longoria popped up, and Joyce struck out. Throwback, and easily back in there is Pena. Zobrist has turned into a very nice big league ball player. Was acquired from the Astros for Aubrey Huff back in '06. He's had some nice years in a Tampa uniform. He checked it and he went around. Strike three. Full coat strikes out a pair. 6 strikeouts for Tigers pitching today. Still tied at 2. Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Toyota. Brought to you by your Greater Detroit Toyota dealers. Back here at Comerica Park on a chilly afternoon. The carousel is going around and round. Meanwhile, Gerald Blaird had that hand looked at by Kevin Rand, the head athletic trainer, and apparently he's going to be all right. But it's barking a little bit right now. See what the Tigers can do offensively here in a 2-2 game in the bottom of the 8th. They've got the big lumber coming up. Cabrera, then Fielder, and then Young. McGee throws a strike on the outer edge, 0-1.
Borderline strike right there.
Cabrera's been walked twice, once intentionally, and he's lined out. Swing and a miss.
97 on that last fastball from McGee. He reached back to get a little extra on that heater.
So you got the starter Moore, a lefty who can throw that hard, and now you bring this guy in who throws equally as hard. He fouled it off.
It's one of the reasons why the Rays have been so good the last few years. It's their pitching and their defense. And a lot of that talent is homegrown.
It is indeed. They've done a great job of drafting. And I talked to Joe Madden today before the game, asking him about how everybody was freaking out in spring training that they weren't scoring runs. And Joe said, I didn't mind because we were still pitching and playing defense. And that's how we win games. And they have done a little bit of that here this afternoon.
Cabrera hurt his left wrist, fouling off that 0-2 pitch from McGee.
See what he gets here on 0-2. Fouled away. Another fastball at 97.
He's wincing too. Here's a previous pitch where it appeared that he did something with that left wrist. Left hand.
Just off the plate. What did McGee want it again at 97?
I don't like that look on his face.
I don't either. He clearly is hurting. Driven in the air, right center field. This ball is tattooed, and that ball is up against the wall. Cabrera, hurt hand or not, drills one off the scoreboard in right field.
That's why you can't pitch to this guy. You really can't. Best hitter in baseball as far as I'm concerned. He fouled off a couple of outstanding fastballs at 97 miles an hour by McGee, and then finally got one up and almost hit it out of here. His power is ridiculous. Effortless power.
And Cabrera out there at second base trying to shake off the apparent pain of that hand, and he didn't seem to have any trouble driving that one off the wall. Let's take a look at our Burger King box score here this afternoon. The game tied at 2. Matt Moore was good for the Rays. Rick Porcello equally as good for the Tigers. Jackson with a big home run to tie it up. Now the Tigers trying to go ahead. Lead run at second base for Prince Fielder. Ball one inside. Made him move his feet. He scampers out of the box.
That ball that Cabrera hit in most ballparks is a home run.
They went to the triangle here and got out to the scoreboard they have out there in right field. That's back up the middle into center and almost hit the umpire. Here's Cabrera. They'll try and score it. Jennings' throw is not in time. Prince comes through. Boy, what a duo these guys are.
Prince had to make sure he got something that he could pull to at least get Cabrera to third base, and he hit an absolute missile right back through the box and got rewarded with a knock and an RBI.
And he almost flipped Mark Carlson, the umpire, on his back. He barely got out of the way. It's going to be it for McGee. Fielder gets his 4th RBI of the season. And so with the Tigers leading 3-2, Rays go back to the bullpen and we'll step aside.
By pitch, and it was Jackson's last at bat against the rookie phenom Matt Moore. Jackson has been so impressive this year, fouling off very tough two-strike pitches to finally get the one that he's looking for, which he got. A 3-2 fastball in the mid-90s from Moore and tied the score at 2. What a start Jackson's off to this year.
That tied the game. The Tigers, meanwhile, have gone ahead. Miguel Cabrera with a double. Prince Fielder with a single. As the snowflakes again begin to fall here at the ballpark. Here is Delman Young. Ball 1 to Young. The new pitcher is Burt Badenhop, the one-time Tiger.
He gets a lot of ground balls, and that's the reason why he's in the game. He induces lots of double plays.
Shot to right field, base hit. Prince will go to second and stop there, and the Tigers have 3 straight hits here in the 8th.
I've been so impressed with the Tigers hitters' approach as a whole all year. Against a sinker baller, you know you got to let the ball travel deep and simply try to hit the ball the other way. If you try to pull it, you're going to hit it right into the ground. What an at-bat there by Delman Young.
Young will be lifted for the pinch runner. Delman does his job. Cleet Thomas running at first base. He'll stay in to play defense as well. There's Cleet. Tigers looking for more here.
And Jim could play this a couple different ways. He could try to get one more run on the board or 2 by having Rayburn sacrifice bunt here, knowing that the pitcher loves to throw the ball down and induce ground balls.
Rayburn is 0 for 3. He is showing bunt. Shane Lamont running through the signs. Three straight hits for the Tigers here in the 8th inning as they go ahead 3-2. Two 2-0 on Rayburn.
If Rayburn is still bunting, where you want to try to bunt this ball is down toward third base. You want to force Longoria, the third baseman, into fielding the baseball, so he vacates third base, which opens it up for Prince Fielder running from second.
No sign of bunt there. Now it's 3-0. Burt Badenhop, a one-time Tigers prospect. In fact, he was involved in the deal that brought Miguel Cabrera to the Tigers. Badenhop was one of the players sent the other way to the Florida Marlins. He's taking. It's a strike. Tigers now have 7 hits this afternoon. Each team has stranded 6 so far. And another strike. Rayburn was about to discard the bat, but Ed Rapuano calls him back. Full count.
It's a borderline strike. I wouldn't be shocked to see Jim start the runners here.
I was going to say, do you think he might?
I think he might. Make sure he stays out of that double play.
There they go. Bouncing ball to short. There's one. And there's 2.
Great call by Jim.
Safe at second base, I beg your pardon. They tried to get the out at second. And they do indeed stay out of the double play.
That's the only reason why they stayed out of the double play, as he started the runners. And had Delman been running, they may have turned it. Cleet a little bit faster than Delman. So a couple of wise decisions in this inning by Jim, the pinch runner, and starting the runners on the 3-2 count.
So the Tigers now have runners at second and third, still only 1 out. Long conversation between Molina and Badenhop. They'll have to deal with Johnny Peralta. See how they play the infield here. Rays will draw them in. And they're also playing a shift. Ball one.
Apparently the scouting report that Joe Madden has on Johnny Peralta is one that tells him that when Johnny hits the ball on the ground, he hits it to the left side of the infield.
Driven to right field instead. Zobrist on the move, squares it up. Fielder tagging, and the throw is cut off. Sac fly, RBI. Thomas moves up to third as well.
They have had some tremendous at-bats in this inning. Just about every hitter going the opposite way in an unselfish manner.
So Johnny Peralta comes through, his 4th RBI of this brand new campaign. There is Papa Grande warming up, Jose Valverde. Gerald Laird will bat with 2 away. A 2-run 8th breaks the 2-2 tie. The Tigers lead 4-2. Laird loops one into shallow center. That's a base hit and an RBI. G-Money knocks in his first of the year, and the Tigers now lead by 3, 5-2.
Well, you had a feeling that the Tigers just needed to get the rookie phenom Matt Moore out of the game to possibly score some runs, which they promptly have done.
Tigers now have 8 hits on the board, each side with 8. A 3 spot here in the 8th inning for Detroit. Danny Worth 0 for 3. Strike 1 on Worth. There's another strike. Run the count to 0-2. Valverde in the 9th inning will have Keppinger, Rodriguez, and Molina scheduled to hit.
We'll probably see Luke Scott, who's sitting on that bench for Joe Madden this year.
Little thunder off their bench. And a Tiger killer, too, when he was with the Orioles. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Danny Worth. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The trio that I just mentioned, the guys that are due up, Keppinger, Rodriguez, and Molina, combined 1 for 9 today. Bouncing ball to short. Brignac will hit the bag for the out, ending the inning, but the Tigers scored 3. That means it's time for the closer, Jose Valverde, making his final preparations. Tigers bring out the bats and score 3 and take the lead. Tampa Bay Rays, and here are the numbers on Jose Valverde.
He had a rough one on opening day here at Comerica Park. He blew a save against the Boston Red Sox, but eventually got the win in that game. But he had 49 saves last year and 49 chances. Fans, you can follow the Tigers with MLB.com at Bat12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Tigers.com for details.
Lee Thomas will stay in the game, and he'll play left field for the Tigers. 3 more outs to go, and the Tigers can run to 4-0. First pitch is in for a strike on Jeff Keppinger. Oh for 3. Keppinger struck out looking his last time up in the 6th inning. Inside and high, 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck, meanwhile, with Rodriguez due up, Jose Lobaton will pinch hit. One and one on Keppinger. Down the right field line, slicing, just foul outside of that white line. 1-2 on Jeff Keppinger. I mentioned Valverde had 49 for 49 last year. If you count the 2 that he had a couple of years ago, he was actually going on 51 straight, as Keppinger just missed down that right field line. All-star last year with the Tigers. Trying to finish off Keppinger here. Popped up, shallow center. Jackson coming on. 1 gone. So Lobaton now will pinch hit for Sean Rodriguez. Strike 1 called on Lobaton.
Valverde 5 pitches, all fastballs. Doesn't throw nearly as many split fingers fastballs as he used to when he came up in the Arizona Diamondbacks organization.
One ball, 1 strike. Lobaton, a native of Venezuela. Been up and down the last couple of years with Tampa Bay. Broke in with San Diego in 2009. Swing and a miss, and a big rip. One and 2 on Jose Lobaton. Swing and a miss, down he goes, and Valverde dancing around the mound early here today. 2 gone.
Threw that fastball right by him, about belt buckle high.
That is 7 strikeouts for Tigers pitching, and another pinch hitter now for Molina. Stephen Vogt will bat. 1 more out to get. Strike one. Crowd to its feet, 22,000 plus on a chilly afternoon in the Motor City. 1 out away from watching their team go to 4-0 on the new season. The 0-1. Vogt sends it high in the air. Should do it. Center field. There's Jackson. And the Tigers win it.
Impressive victory here this afternoon. Pitching, defense, offense showed up late.
They had to find a way to hang around until they got more out of the game, and they did just that, scoring 3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. And as a result, the Tigers go to 4-0. 3 runs in the 8th. Tigers win it here this afternoon. There's your final score, 5-2. Back with more from the ballpark.